welcome back to another video on Read Between the Grinds. To absolutely no one's surprise, I'm reading another T. Kingfisher book today. I am a simple girl. T. Kingfisher writes a new book, I read it. I vlog it, apparently. I'm actually really surprised to be vlogging another one again so soon. If you watch my Snake Eater video, that book came out, I want to say in like November, December, and this came out in November, December 25, March 26. And in there, and at some point, she also released a new book in her Sworn Soldier series. So my girl's writing, you know, but I actually didn't even know this one was coming out. I guess I'm a fake fan. Laura, my dear sister Laura, works in our wonderful public library system, does some of the ordering for her library, and she texted me and she was like, do you want the new T. Kingfisher book when it comes out? I can put you on the list. And I was like, what new T. Kingfisher book? And then she really put me right in my genre box by telling me that it's horror and there's maggots involved. So I'm very excited. It's a pretty short one, only like 250 pages. Maybe that's how she's able to crank them out, but they're all so good still, so good. So today I don't have very much going on at all. Very exciting. And so I think I'm just going to spend it reading. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's April and it is just so beautiful. It feels like summer. Actually, it's almost kind of too warm for April, but whatever. We'll just ignore that and enjoy the weather. And I'm going to read this book, maybe the entire thing today, and we'll see how it goes. I will vlog and bring you guys along with me. All right, hold on. Moment for the cover, because I think her covers are always absolutely stunning. Look at this. Like, okay, wait, sorry, I'm getting glare. Those are bugs, you know, bugs. She always has the best covers. Hold on, a quick moment for these illustrations. Oh my God, my street is so busy right now. Sorry for the traffic noise. This is amazing. And then I think it's probably, yeah, look at that. There she is. That's my girl. The devil. Love that. Okay, I'm about 60 pages into Wolfworm. This is very interesting, very unique, because most of her books are set more in like a modern time period, but this one is set in 1899, so we're kind of like back in time. Our main character is a woman who is a scientific illustrator, so she has just taken a job in another town with a doctor who studies insects, particularly carnivorous insects. And so he's going to write a book, and he has hired her as an illustrator. So she comes into this old house that's kind of like falling down. There's only a couple of servants left. And the doctor himself is like kind of mean and nasty and only cares about his work. And so she is starting her work and her project. But along with that, she keeps hearing from the townspeople and from these, the people that she works with in the house, that there's something not right in the woods. And perhaps like many years ago, there were bodies that kept showing up, both animal and people, and they were drained of blood. So interesting. And it has the very typical T. Kingfisher, like it's humorous and it's funny, yet it gets weird and creepy and eerie very quickly. Our main character is fantastic. She's really immediately T. Kingfisher's main characters always jump off the page, and our main character here is as well. I can't remember her name. Hold on. Sonia. So anyway, this is a really good so far. Like I said, I'm about 60 pages in, but it's not a very long book, so I will probably finish it today. Hey, that's the name of the book. Hi, welcome back to Coffee Hour with Hannah. I have my shot of espresso. You know, when I was a kid, I would pretend that I had a cooking show. Like I would talk to myself in the kitchen and like pretend that I was on a cooking show. And that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm still just talking to myself in the kitchen. All right, shot of espresso. I like to use coconut milk because me and dairy, real dairy, are not friends. But I also just love the taste of coconut milk. I think it makes it so coconutty, one could say. All right, anyway, we're making an iced latte. So I'm gonna put my ice in. Well, I'm gonna do this first so the ice doesn't just melt immediately with the hot espresso. You know what's really good about this cooking show is that you can't see anything that I'm doing. You can only see my face, okay? Just added a little bit of coconut milk. You know what, let me come back. Okay, here we go. My iced latte with coconut milk. Just a tiny bit of caramel creamer just to give it a little bit of extra sweetness, and 1 shot of espresso because it is the afternoon now and this is like my 3rd caffeinated beverage of the day. So, you know, we'll keep it pretty good. Delicious, delicious. Okay, back outside, latte in hand. It's beautiful out today. So it's Easter weekend this weekend. Easter is tomorrow. And I almost feel like it should be like Memorial Day weekend. It is like 80 degrees out. The sun is shining. There's this gorgeous breeze. I have been outside all day and I continue to be outside. I did take a quick break from reading to have some lunch, to take a walk, to make my latte, you know, those kinds of things. But anyway, I am about halfway through, a little more than halfway through actually. And we're really leaning into like what's going on, what mysterious things are going on in the woods, and what mysterious things are going on with her employer. So what we're starting to learn, and this will be spoiler-free discussion, but what we're starting to learn is that her employer has some secrets, and the illustrator who was there before her, she starts learning some more things about that person's identity. These cars are so loud today. It's a beautiful day, so everybody's out. Don't you know I'm filming? That's what I said last time. Anyway, so we're starting to learn more about that. And we're starting to there's some mysterious things that her employer is doing as well. So she's kind of like there's the eeriness of her working with these parasitic bugs. I mean, they're all dead, but she's drawing them. And she's like learning about them. But then there's these stories about what's happening in the woods, and then also the mystery of what happened with the previous illustrator, and that kind of presence is kind of haunting the novel. So anyway, I'm loving it. I have never read a T. Kingfisher book that isn't 5 stars. I gotta be honest. So I'm gonna sit here and probably finish it because it's just too gorgeous to go inside and I don't really have anything going on. Praise the Lord. Anyway, yeah, cheers. I'm done. Oh my God. Okay. That was interesting. Loved it. I don't want this to sound bad. Let me start by saying that this is definitely horror. When I read Snake Eater, I was expecting horror, and it really is more of just like a general kind of fantasy with some maybe spooky elements, but not horror. This is pretty much straight up horror. It leans into body horror in a way that none of her books have. She touches on body horror sometimes in some of her books. I'm thinking particularly of the Hollow Places. But this one really leans into it. So I want to, without spoilers, I want to give a couple trigger warnings. Body horror for sure, pretty graphic body horror, and bugs, just bugs in general, particularly like parasitic bugs. Okay. Which, you know, I knew going in, but she really leaned into it a little bit more than I was expecting, which was fun. I was reading and my husband was sitting beside me at the time, and I at one point that I got to in the book, I said out loud, "Oh my God." He was like, "Oh, really?" This was great though. This is a 5 stars. Just give me a T. Kingfisher book. This one was different though, and I really enjoyed that it was set in a different time period. It was like a historical time period, and we have kind of some really interesting dynamics at play, including the fact that we have a female main character who works in a very male-dominated field of like naturalist scientists and things like that. And there's usually I always call, in a T. Kingfisher book, I always say she has the wonky side characters. And there are definitely really strong and really wonderful side characters in this book, but they aren't as important to the story, I want to say, kind of. Like usually in a T. Kingfisher book, the main protagonist and their wonky sidekick, or sometimes there's a couple, are kind of a team tackling the entity, the bad guy, the whatever is going on. This one is a little bit more independent, so our main character is a little bit more on her own going through this, which is a really fun dynamic as well. So I really highly recommend this. Like I said, 250 pages, I think 200 maybe 270, we'll go with that. Okay. And it just took me like not even a full day to read. I still have most of the day ahead of me. I'm gonna go enjoy this beautiful day. Don't look too closely at my backyard. Okay, it's spring and I haven't had a chance to fully do everything yet. That's how it is in the spring. You're like, oh my god, look at this neglected backyard. So anyway, but I'm not gonna do anything about that right now. I'm gonna sit and enjoy the weather. Thanks so much again for joining us on another video on Read Between the Grinds. We will see you next time. Happy reading.